చేసినా కూడా అయిపోద్ది. ఇంట్లో అమ్మ చేసినట్టు ఉంది, చాలా బాగుంది.
Welcome to the journey of Vishwa Foundation, an organization dedicated to bringing positive change to society every single day. In just 1,176 days, since its inception in May 2021, Vishwa Foundation has grown into a beacon of hope and change. Vishwa Talks is an online platform inspiring people to participate in social change by hosting experts who share insights on diverse topics every Saturday.
Namaste. Vishwa is an organization which works towards building the grassroots levels of India. The first step we take towards that is to build an awareness. We work in different causes from education, health, art and culture to 12 other causes. On every Saturday at 11 a.m., we have a talk on these various topics. For example, when it comes to health, India has a rich source of Ayurvedic treatments, alternative medicines like Ayurveda, homeopathy, Siddha, naturopathy. At a time when India is leading in diabetes, heart attacks, cancer, we have preventive medication which can be used. So a lot of talks have come out where people can use household items to prevent some of these or to control some of them. Our grandmothers were a rich source of information. Our parents knew a little lesser than that. And we know a lot lesser than that. And perhaps our children may never get that heritage. Here at Vishwa, we have people who tell us how to use the household items like curry leaves or neem or lemongrass for what ailments, etc. Similarly, we have talks on art and culture. We would like to have our Indians to be united, be one, be proud of their culture, their heritage. We have a lot of talks where people from various walks of life have come forward and spoken about various buildings, various dance forms, etc. These are two examples I have given. We cover 12 causes like this in our Vishwa Talks. As a first step, we want to bring in awareness among the coming generation. Our audience is across the country and sometimes abroad too. We have a rich interactive session after the talk is given by the expert. It's for any person who watches these talks to decide what they want to believe in, what they don't want to believe in, and if they have any clarifications, they're free to ask questions. After this, we want to build the skills of the people of India. Today, India is on the cusp of moving into one of the top countries of the world. But unfortunately, the skills of our people do not match our aspirations. Here at Vishwa, we started out in a small way. We started with computer training. Fortunately for us, Rotary and some people have donated computers to us. We teach 10th class students, inter students and degree students so that when they go for jobs, they don't get rejected. We teach the basics like Excel, Doc, ChatGPT, how to market. The basics we teach, because most of them cannot afford computers and they have no access to them. And similarly, we have something called celebrations. Celebrations is celebrating your loved ones on their anniversaries, on their birthdays, on their death anniversaries. You could contribute to any of the causes that Vishwa showcases on its platform, vishwa.org. You could, Annadanam for instance. There are a lot of people across the country who, when they go to hospitals, they come up from far-off regions and they little money they have, they keep it aside for the treatment of the patient. They sleep on platforms, they hardly eat anything. And we give them food every afternoon on Fridays and it makes a lot of difference. There are similar such fundraisers. Please feel free to celebrate your loved ones with any of these causes.
Vishwa's commitment towards zero waste and the long way to go in achieving the goal begins with our material donation drive. Conducted twice a year during Diwali and Ugadi in Hyderabad, this drive collects clothes, books, toys and other used or semi-used items for the underprivileged. Contributions from over 615 plus families have benefited around 2,800 individuals, providing essential items and support, bringing hope and dignity to them. Through these efforts, we transform the waste of some into the treasure of others, promoting sustainability and community welfare.
Namaskaram. A very good morning and welcome to Vishwa Talks. My name is Trishant and I thank you all for attending today's event on Zoom and to those watching on YouTube Live. For those of you who have attended a Vishwa Talk before, a warm welcome back. And for our new joinees, here's a little bit about us. Vishwa Talks is here to create awareness amongst people and to protect our social heritage and to let people make their own decisions. Here we invite experts to discuss and explore diverse opinions, different perspectives, various issues, problems, and their solutions on various fields, including art and culture, healthcare, ecology and environment, education, and many more. So far, we have covered over 150 talks. Each webinar is an interactive session with a deeper understanding of the topic at hand. If you miss any part of the session, or if you would like to go through the previous sessions, please visit our website or Vishwa Talks YouTube channel for a full library of past Vishwa Talks on various interesting topics. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Ms. Darshana Patel to today's webinar. Ms. Patel is a seasoned environmental engineer with an impressive 23 years of experience in the fields of pollution prevention, waste reduction, ozone depletion, climate change, and waste management. Her journey began with esteemed institutions like NEERI, NEERI, and CEE, where she spent a decade contributing to research and environmental initiatives. For the past 12 years, she has been making a significant impact at AMC, working tirelessly towards sustainable solutions for a cleaner and greener future. With her deep expertise and commitment to environmental sustainability, we are sure to gain valuable insights today. Let's extend a warm welcome to Ms. Darshana Patel. Hello, ma'am.
Thank you. Welcome. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am. I'll hand over the talk to you in a moment, ma'am. Just a moment. As we dive into today's interesting discussion, I would like to inform the audience that our speaker will be taking questions from you after our main talk. So please leave your questions in the chat box or use the raise hand tool and we will allow you to ask your question in person. I request everyone to turn on your webcam for the interactive part of the webinar. Request you to keep the questions concise and short. Please limit the visual interaction part to questions, and you can share your experiences, opinions, and perspectives in the chat box. So without further ado, let's welcome Ms. Darshana Patel as she shares her inspiring journey and valuable insights into solid waste, current practices, and legal implications. Morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. Today we will definitely look into the matter of solid waste management, how in India we are managing this waste, and what are the waste practices our cities are managing the waste, municipal solid waste. So let's have one quick presentation on this, where I will present my views on the municipal solid waste management and the legal or regulatory framework which is there existed in our country. So welcome all to the presentation. So here I have divided my presentation into basically three main topics. First of all, I will focus on the integrated solid waste management. What is the procedure in our country in our country as well as worldwide for the solid waste management? Secondly, what are the legal and regulatory framework existed in our country and the cities' waste practices they are following for the municipal solid waste management? So first of all, we all know that
Ma'am,
waste is
sorry to interrupt. Could you please put it in full screen?
yeah, it is already in a full screen. So
The slideshow mode.
this is basically PDF file.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. No worries.
Let me go for the PowerPoint.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, Rakesh, please tell.
Yeah.
Here the third option from bottom.
Right side bottom.
Yes.
What should I do?
You can click the right third button, bottom third button from the bottom on the right side.
Is
The
there any problem?
if you look at the right corner, there is zoom in, zoom out button. Just above there, that there is a button.
Yes, already it's a zoom out.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, we'll just continue. Not a problem.
So basically, the waste here I am giving just definitions which are important as far as our presentation is concerned. Waste, which is an unwanted material, but nowadays nothing is waste. We need to have this circularity and reuse concept in our day-to-day life. Waste management is basically the process in which we are dealing with the waste processes from generation to the final disposal of the waste. And solid waste is a waste which is generating from the human as well as the animal activities, and it is discarded as an unwanted material. So basically, solid waste management is a challenge all over the country as well as in India also, and it includes the processes starting from our home storage to the disposal of the waste in the landfill sites. So basically, the main problem is the mismanagement of this solid waste, because we as a public we are aware, but we don't want to put it into practice that let's use dustbin or let's segregate the waste. So there is a huge amount of mismanagement right now in our country as far as the waste is concerned. But this waste management is a problem when you must have heard about this fire in the landfills, and there are so many issues related to the material disposal on the roads and otherwhere. So mismanagement of waste is a main problem. And when the waste is not recycled, it ends up into the landfill, where we can see that there are lots of open dump sites in our major cities of the India. So the main reason are the inadequate collection and transportation of the waste. There is ineffective regulation implementation or the policy implementation, and there is some amount of lacking of the public awareness and participation basically in the waste management. But we all know that since last 10 years, the Swachh Bharat mission has launched, and this we have solved this problem up to some extent as far as the collection is concerned. So, if we see the current status of the waste generation in India, the total waste generation is nearly 65 million tons annually, out of which 62 million ton is the municipal solid waste. It means that daily India is generating nearly 1,60,000 tons of municipal solid waste. And the local authority is responsible to manage this waste. Only 75 to 80% of this waste is getting collected, and 25 to 30% is getting processed, or we are processing and making various products out of it. So and the remaining municipal solid waste is deposited at the landfill or the dump yards. And it is estimated that since till 2031, we will reach up to the 165 million tons annually in terms of municipal solid waste, and up to 400 million ton till 2050. So this waste collection, we need to increase our waste collection efficiency, which is currently also good. But as the population is increasing, waste generation is increasing, we need to increase our efficiency in terms of collection. Currently, it is around 70 to 90% in major metro cities, and around 40 to 50% in the smaller city or class 1 and 2 tier cities. Now, if we see the composition and the classification of solid waste, so basically solid waste is classified into 8 to 9 categories like municipal solid waste, hazardous waste, commercial waste, agricultural waste, biomedical waste, plastic waste, e-waste, CND waste. So these are the main waste categories or the classification. And if we see the composition of municipal solid waste in our country, 55 to 60% is the organic content.
Ma'am,
And the
have you changed
30%,
this? Sorry to interrupt. Have you changed the slide by any chance?
no. Yes.
Okay. You're on third slide, right?
Are you able to see this chart?
We are able to see definitions on the screen, which is, I think, the first or the second slide or the third
So
slide.
it is not getting changed.
No, ma'am.
Okay, here I can see.
No, ma'am, here it's not getting changed. Could you please share it with Rakesh and Rakesh
I
will
have
share it for
already
you?
shared with you.
Okay, Rakesh, could you please share your screen? Yes, Amarnath sir, we'll just recorrect the screen sharing. Just a moment, ma'am.
Yes.
You can just prompt Rakesh to change the slide whenever you feel like.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Next. Next slide.
Next one, Rakesh.
Next. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one. So, composition, as I said, it is 55 to 60% is the organic waste, and 30 to 40% is recyclable, and remaining is the inert waste, around 7 to 10%. Next. Yeah. So, if you see the functional elements of the solid waste management system, it starts from our home, like from the generation. It is collected by the local authority. We are storing in it, our home in different bins, say segregated waste. It is being collected by the authority, then transferred and transport to its ultimate, say either material recovery facility, or it may go up to the recovery site or anywhere, and then ultimately processing and disposal. So this is the main functional elements of any waste management system. And as far as the municipal solid waste is concerned, next we will go into the we are following integrated solid waste management system in our country, or we can say that anyone should follow this hierarchy of waste management. Say it starts with it includes reuse, recycle, and reduce component or the approach. So we should go for it, and most preferably at source reduction and segregation is the first step towards it. After this, recycling and reuse at our level we should do, so that collection amount of waste collected will get reduced, and then we should at the home itself we shall find out the option for the processing waste, like home waste composting or anything related to the processing of the waste. So basically, it is a approach which is related to the waste management. So waste to energy and composting are the processing options, and landfilling is the ultimate option. So integrated solid waste management is basically the collection and segregation and processing of waste from all the stakeholders, by including all the stakeholders in the various processes. Next. So if we go the step by step, first step is the waste generation and storage and segregation. So in our country right now, we are segregating the waste currently into 4 different streams: wet waste, dry waste, sanitary waste, and e-waste. It is basically the concept is to segregate the waste into these 4 category from the point of generation itself, and we need to store it till the collection vehicle comes from the local authority and collect it separately. Next. Now the collection, segregated collection and transportation is the second step. So this is second and most important step as far as the municipal solid waste management is concerned, because most of the budget of any local authority goes into this activity: collection of the waste and transportation it to the its ultimate friend. Here we are talking about 2 types of collection. There is a primary collection and secondary collection. Primary collection is related to door-to-door collection system from all the household and commercial units. And secondary collection is the collection of waste from the either material recovery facility or any intermediate point up to its last disposal point. So this is primary and secondary, 2 type of collection system are there in our country right now. And then from the collection it goes to or transfer to the transfer station. Transfer station are also acting like a material recovery facility, where waste is again getting sorted in various categories. Compaction is also there, and we are segregating the waste into various recyclable and non-recyclable categories. then it is again transmitting it to the either disposal site or any other treatment facility where it's ultimately goes. So here in material recovery facility, we are sorting all the recyclable like paper, plastic and all that, and it goes to the recyclable market, and ultimately inert waste is going to the disposal site, while organic waste is going to the composting or any other treatment option facility. Next. So now we come to the technical, or we can say that most important part in terms of municipal solid waste management is the processing, where we are lacking right now. There are so many factors why we are lacking in this processing of municipal solid waste. But the main processes which are involved in the treatment of municipal solid waste are composting, waste to energy, incineration, biomethanation, and RDF comes under the waste to energy only. So biodegradable portion is getting into the composting and waste to energy fraction. So basically, when we are selecting any processing option, we should go. There are various factors we need to check, like local condition. The technology should be proven, it can be replicated, and it should be validated by the any pollution control board. So the processing is the method to manage and reduce the waste, and the main aim is to recover the resources out of it. Next. We go into this processing one by one. So first of all, composting. We all know that composting basically is a biological digestion process where the biodegradable waste, we are keeping it in a pile, or we can say that we can store it in any container, and we can have this composting at our home also. All the biodegradable waste can be converted into compost within a period of 1 week to 15-20 days. So it includes home composting, bean composting. We can go for the vermicomposting also, in-vessel composting. All the treatment processes are having the same method with a different duration and addition of the catalyst and all that. So it includes the composting from at centralized level up to the decentralized level. Depending upon the local condition and the waste generation quantity, we can go for the option of composting. And the compost which is getting now prepared after 15-20 days, it should meet the fertilizer control order norms, which is there are norms for the city compost in our country prepared by the FCO, and our compost should follow these norms, or we should meet these norms for the further utilization. And this market for this known city compost should also be there for the selling for any local authority. And this compost can be used for the as a plant nutrient. It can be utilized as a soil enricher, and it is used for the recovery of the poor soils. Next. Next option is from the out of recyclable is the waste to energy. So basically, when the material is not recoverable or composting is not possible from it, we can go for the option of waste to energy. And it can be only opted when the calorific value of the combined waste is more than say 1700 kilocalorie or more than 2000 kilocalorie. Then and then only we can go for this waste to energy options. It includes both thermal options as well as the biological options. In thermal option, we have different processes like incineration, pyrolysis, gasification, diffuse derived fuel. All these processes are related to the thermal conversion of the waste into energy. And there are biological options like anaerobic digestion and composting and biogas generation. And ultimately, the goal is to generate electricity out of it, and we can get the energy, electricity or the biogas. Even landfilling is an option where we can generate electricity by collecting the methane and convert it into the electricity through gas engine. And this sale of this energy can result into the financial viability of the project for the local authority. And if the tariff is not possible to, if the local authority is not able to collect the tariff through this option, they can provide the tipping fee to the contractor also who are working for the waste to energy projects. So basically in our country, all these waste to energy projects are on PPP mode right now. So third party or the private agency is doing all the their investment, and local authority is giving them the tipping fee or any other kind of the options. There are so many options for the payment back for the investment. So In waste to energy, let's go next. Next slide. Say incineration. Incineration is a process where waste, it's a combustion process where the waste is combusted at very high temperature in the presence of oxygen. And the product out of this incineration are ash, flue gas, and heat. So this heat can be used to generate the electricity. By collecting heat, we can generate the electricity. It is basically feasible for the unprocessed waste and segregated fraction of the high calorific value waste. We can generate around 65 to 80% energy can be recovered through this process, and it can be utilized for any thermal applications. So incineration is an option to be considered only after implementing the suitable material recycling and recovery system. Where other options are available, we are not opting for the incineration first. Basically, other better option of processing are like recovery or the recycling of plastic and other waste. We all know that plastic is the main component in the municipal solid waste, through which we can have a more calorific value in the combined waste. So if up to the extent where it is possible to recycle or remove it from the mainstream, we should remove the plastic from it, and then the waste should go for the any other waste to energy option. Next. After incineration is a thermal option, now biomethanation is the biological degradation, in which the biodegradable component of the waste is digested in any vessel in the absence of oxygen. So it is basically anaerobic digestion, through which we are generating the biogas, which is the composition of biogas is like it contains CO2, methane, ammonia, and ammonia, water vapor, and other components. So after cleaning this biogas, and we can enrich the methane content up to 90% or 95%, and we can utilize methane in other applications. Means the quality of the methane will now be like CNG, so it can be utilized for the CNG as a fuel in various applications, or directly biogas can be utilized to generate electricity, as well as it can be utilized directly as a fuel for the other application. So biomethanation is also very important process as far as India is concerned, because our local conditions or atmospheric conditions are also very favorable for anaerobic digestion, because most of the year there is a proper heat available in our country. So all the biodegradable waste can be converted into gas or electricity through this option. So biomethanation is the best option as far as the biodegradable waste in our country is concerned. And there are so many examples in our country right now where local authorities are generating many resources out of this. Next. Next one is the refuse derived fuel. It is a fuel which is derived from the combustible fraction of municipal solid waste. After non-combustible material like glass and metals and others are removed from it. So this process basically includes the shredding of, first of all, the shredding. After separation, there is a shredding, sorting, and sometimes the compacting the waste and converting. It can be utilized either in a loose form or in a compact form, like by converting it into the pellets form. And this RDF can be utilized as a fuel to generate steam and ultimately the electricity generation in boilers, or it can be utilized in terms of in place of coal also in the boilers. So the composition of RDF is a mixture that has a higher concentration of combustible material and which is present in the parent municipal solid waste mix. So it can be compacted, segregated, compacted, and converted into pellets, which can be utilized for the further heating application. Next. Ultimately, if now the biodegradable portion is getting utilized through composting and biomethanation, and recyclable portion getting into the recycling, and other combustible goes into the incineration and other processes like RDF and another. Now the remaining portion or the inert waste, the waste which is we cannot convert it into thermally or biologically into any useful form, will go into the landfill. So landfills are basically 2-3 types. Like one is open dumping, where people are throwing the waste as it is. Then there is a common landfill, there is a sanitary landfill. Sanitary landfill is basically utilized for the municipal solid waste, where it is engineered design facility where all kind of proper liners have been placed at the bottom, and the waste is getting dumped on the everyday, and it can be covered with the topsoil or the basic soil, and there is a height of it. It is designed for basically 20 to 25 years, and these are the various component of the any landfill. Like at the bottom, there is a liner system there, proper drainage collection system there to collect the leachate. Leachate collection system is provided. Then there is a road and like gas collection system, and also venting system is provided. Groundwater pollution control measures should be there. Air pollution control measures should be provided. So this is a sanitary landfill which is designed properly and provided with all kind of measures to reduce the environmental pollution. So basically, Solid Waste Management Rules 2016 provides the comprehensive regulation for the siting, design, and operation of the sanitary landfill. There are criteria for all the stages of the landfill. So, which kind of waste is suitable for the landfill? First is non-biodegradable, which is non-biodegradable by nature and through pre-treatment. Means after treatment, if it is of no use, it can goes to the landfill side. Then if there is a mixed waste, we cannot remove recyclable and biodegradable separate from the waste. Ultimately, it goes into the landfill. Then pre-processed and post-processed rejects from the various processes goes to the landfill, and non-hazardous waste, which is of no value to recycle, can go into the sanitary landfill. Next. Now this benchmark, solid waste management, actually in our country, the CAG has defined benchmarks for all kind of municipal services. So as far as solid waste management is concerned, these are the 9 important parameters or the benchmark which every municipal authority needs to follow. First of all, there should be 100% household level coverage of the solid waste management services like collection, treatment, transportation. All services are provided with benchmark, say collection and segregation up to 100%. Then there is a recovery of from this collected waste up to 80% should be recovered. Only 20% of waste should go to the landfill site. Then scientific disposal of the municipal solid waste should be up to 100%. Efficiency in redressal of consumer complaints. So any municipal local authority should have a complaint redressal system which is 100% efficient, and all the operations are also very smooth in that case. Then extent of cost recovery in solid waste management services. This is a very difficult to attain this 100% is very difficult for any local authority, because in our country we don't have separate charge or user charge for solid waste. Authorities collecting water charges from us, but solid waste management charges are either very less or negligible. It is not sufficient to provide any proper management system. So every local authority should define the charges according to their management expenditure. Then there is the efficiency in the collection of these charges. Charges are defined, but many times we cannot recover it properly as a property tax. Only 60 to 70% people are paying. Likewise, this SWM charges also many people are. Sometimes it is not in the bylaws, and if it is in the bylaws, not recoverable. So it should be goal should be that 90% of SWM charges should be collected from the people. So this service level benchmark, we can say that these are the defined benchmark, but in terms of we are nearer to only for the collection and transportation, we are only nearer to 100%, say like 80-90%. But as far as this charges collection and recovery reuse is concerned, we have reached only up to the 30% or 40%, not more than that. So we need to work more on this aspects. Next. Now as far as the management is concerned, I have told you that collection, segregation, transportation, and processing are the 4 or 5 major steps as far as the municipal solid waste management is concerned. Now the regulatory framework which is existing in our country, the most important is the municipal solid waste management rules. Initially, if the rules were defined in the 2000, And in 2016, it is revised by including more component into it, like urban local bodies. They need to prepare now. Every local body should have their municipal solid waste management plan and bylaws in place, as well as there is a separate waste rules for the C&D waste also. So in rules 2016, all the stakeholders are getting defined, and their duties are also getting defined, and separate waste categories defined in the MSW rules 2016. Uh, After 2016 MSW rules, MOUD has also prepared one manual which is related to the which provides a guideline for all aspects of the municipal solid waste management, including segregation up to disposal. And most important step in this area is the Swachh Bharat Mission campaign, which has been started in the 2014, and it also covers the common services like toilets, community toilets, public toilets, or the common waste management facility also. Basically, to sensitize, it also includes the public awareness component very well in Swachh Bharat Mission, and the emphasis has been placed on the IEC activity. Under Swachh Bharat Mission. There are so many components of SBM. We will see in the later part. Next. The National Urban Sanitation Policy has been also prepared by the MOUD, Urban Development Department, which considers all these aspects of like open defecation and sanitation facility in the every cities. So all this is related to how we can manage liquid waste also along with the solid waste has been defined in urban sanitation policy. And there are separate rules for different kinds of waste category like plastic waste management rules, biomedical waste management rules, e-waste management rules, battery waste management rules, plastic waste management rules. All these waste management rules comes after this Swachh Bharat Mission and MSW rules 2016. And now again we are getting amending. Now our government is amending all these rules. So now 2023-24 version of all these rules are also available, in which the other conditions have been added into the main rules. Next. If we see the salient features of this Municipal Solid Waste Management Rules 2016, there are 3 or 4 main important features. First of all, it includes all the area. It has covered all the areas from where there is a possibility of waste generation. It is not only only confined to the local body, but it also includes other notified areas and airport authority, ports authority, defense establishment, special economic zone, and places of pilgrims, religious places, and every domestic institution and commercial and residential facility which are generating the waste is covered under this MSW 2016. And the categories of waste generation is also very categorically defined, like every household is responsible to follow this rule. Say event organizers also, street vendors also, there is a informal sector and RWA associations are also, they are also waste generators, every commercial facility. So the hotels, and there are different kind of waste generators have been defined in the rules. Next. Now the duties which are defined, I have listed down the most important one. So first of all, every waste generator says segregate the waste, which is the most important step as far as the management is concerned. Then there is a central monitoring committee has been formed, which monitor this condition of the implementation of rules every year. Then there is a national policy framework by the MOUD, and technical guidelines are there. So training has been provided to local bodies for the implementation of rules as well as the guidelines. Then Department of Fertilizers and Chemical, their duty is to assist the market development for the use of the city compost and other products which are getting generated out of processing of municipal solid waste. Then Ministry of Agriculture is there to promote the utilization of the compost and other issues. Ministry of Power is involved for the fixing the tariff out of waste to energy generation option. Then MNRE is involved, which is basically facilitate the infrastructure related to the waste to energy facility. Then district collector and magistrate are also given responsibility of identifying the landfill site and quarterly review the performance of local body in terms of the municipal solid waste management. Then see, pollution control boards are there either at a central level or state level to prepare the to monitor this implementation and prepare annual reports, formulation of standard. Any new technologies are there, then they should prepare the guidelines for it, and interstate activities can be monitored by them. Then local authorities are definitely there for the implementation and preparation of solid waste management plan and its implementation. Manufacturer owners of the are there for the different activities like take back programs for their products and other reducing packaging material of every product and all that. Then industries are there. Their role is to utilize the options which are generated through waste to energy like RDF and other. And industries like cement, power plants, and other industries which are utilizing boiler, they are responsible to see the new fuel like RDF and whether there is a possibility to utilize in their special sector or not. So this kind of various duties have been assigned to various category of the stakeholder in MSW 2016. Next. There is a separate criteria for the hilly region also where there is a problem of this infrastructure and the collection mechanism. And waste to energy plant, there is a separate provision in MSW 2016 for waste to energy plant where this calorific value has been defined, that if the waste is having calorific value more than 1500, then we can go for the co-incineration in the cement and power plant by converting the waste into RDF or any other fuel component. And the implementation timeline has been defined. Say any local authority shall prepare the landfill in 1 year. They should have a waste processing facility within the 2 years of the publication of the source. So these are the important timelines for the implementation of these MSW rules. Next. Now municipal bylaws. So bylaws is the main thing which any local authority can. It is a main regulatory framework which any local authority can follow for the implementation of the municipal solid waste management plan. So it is basically encompassing all the aspect of the management from the generation to the disposal, and it includes the violation, penalization of the violators. So basically, in 2016 rules, it has been mandated that every local authority should frame these bylaws, which includes various kind of duties and duties in terms of generator as well as for the local authority. So these bylaws are very important tool for the local authority to implement this management plan. Bylaws mandate the establishment of the effective collection and transportation services in the cities. It encourages the community participation in various processes. It empowers the local government to impose the penalties and violations for non-compliance. Then it also promotes the 3R concept, reduce, reuse, recycle. It includes the provisions against the littering and burning of the waste. It also provides the provisions for the collecting user fee from the generators and incentives for the recycling also to the local community. Next. Now the important mission in our country is Swachh Bharat Mission, which has been started since 2014. And the tagline basically, the Ek Kadam Swachhta Ki Or, is the main aim to keep this tagline is to make the people aware or sensitize about the issue related to the Swachhta or the solid waste management. It covers all the urban and rural areas of the India. And Ministry of Urban and Housing Affairs is the main authority which is monitoring both the part, rural as well as the urban part. And Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation and Jal Shakti Mantralaya are also now added into this as Water Plus and other component of Swachh Bharat Mission get added. So key thrust areas of this mission are elimination of the open defecation from the cities, then eradication of the manual scavenging, as far as this machine hall cleaning and other activities are concerned. Then scientific and modern ways of the municipal solid waste management. Then behavior change for the sanitary practices. awareness generation about sanitation and its linkages with the public health, then capacity augmentation of urban local bodies to create environment for the private sector participation into this, then classification of various waste management processes and its proper implementation into this. Next. Now, as we see that along with the domestic waste, there are other categories also in the municipal solid waste which need to be treated separately and need to be collected, reused and treated separately. So these special waste are basically the domestic hazardous waste. It comprises of solid waste or a composition of combination of solid waste that requires special handling and disposal because of either its quantity or either its concentration or physical or chemical characteristics or its properties need the separate management. These waste are like plastic waste, biomedical waste, slaughterhouse waste, electronic waste, waste tires and batteries waste. So these special waste are also generated in our household activities only. So it is a part of the mixed municipal solid waste component. And there are special rules has been formed by the government to manage with this waste. Next. Next.
Rakesh.
First of all, e-waste management. So basically, e-waste management rules have been formed in 2016 also, and it is basically notified to address this leakages of e-waste into informal sector at and all stages of the channelization. These are applicable on every producer, consumer, collection center, dismantler, and recycler of e-waste. Involved in the manufacture, sale, purchase, and processing of the electronic equipment. And there are two categories involved in this electronic equipment: IT and telecommunication equipment, and all the consumer electronic equipment like TV, washing machine, refrigerator, air conditioner. All this waste has been covered under the e-waste management category. And the main feature of these rules is the extended producer responsibility, means the producer of the particular equipment is responsible to taking back this product after its warranty period or its effective lifespan. And there is a responsibility of this electric and electronic equipment producer also to channelize this waste properly for its dismantling and recycling. There are so many recycler, formal and informal recycling facilities now in existence in our country. But under e-waste management, there is a need to register your facility. Either it is for the taking back or it is for the recycling purpose. There is a registration and pollution control board authorization is required for the treatment of e-waste. Next. Plastic waste management is also very important because plastic is very big chunk of the solid waste generation in our country. So rules have been formed in 2016 and it is again amended in 2024 to include more category into it. Basically, it is related to the plastic waste minimization, at source segregation, recycling, and waste processor for the collection of this plastic waste fraction, either from the household or commercial activity. And it also includes the principle of the polluter pay principle for the sustainable management of the solid waste. So the main important areas of the plastic waste management are: it includes the producers and generators obligations in plastic waste management system, and also to implement the collect back mechanism as far as the waste is concerned, to implement the gathering of plastic waste management charge through pre-registration of the plastic carry bag and multi-layered packaging producer. They need to have some need to pay some registration charges. Then encourage the use of plastic trays for the another applications like road building and another energy recovery options, either to produce waste oil or other waste to energy options out of plastic to address its disposal problems, to place the additional responsibility on the waste generation, like paying the local authority a user fee for the collecting and disposal of this plastic waste, and special ban on the plastic bags with specifically bag with less than 50 micron. So now currently, in 2017, we have this single-use plastic ban also. So to increase this minimum thickness of the carry bag of up to 50 micron. So below 50 micron, no government is encouraging to not to use this plastic below 50 micron. And manufacturer of this plastic carry bags or multi-layer pouches on sachet need to be registered with the Pollution Control Board for the proper operation of their facility for a period of 3 years, and there is a renewal and authorization procedure also. Next. Biomedical waste management. It's a separate, all over separate issue. We can go more detail into it, and separate lecture can be arranged for this biomedical waste. But basically, it is a waste which is being generated at any medical facility. Either it's a one room urban local body providing this urban center, health center, up to the multi-speciality hospital. So every kind of medical facility need to have this biomedical waste management rules at place implemented there. So basically, it includes segregation of waste at source, which is segregated into these 5 categories. Every category of waste has been given some type of color for the easy collection of the waste. So collection and storage of segregated waste in color-coded bags and bins. Then there is an intramural transportation from generation site to central storage area. It's a storage at the central facility provided, treatment of waste, and final disposal through the central biomedical waste treatment facility. So these rules are currently actually in India, every local authority is implementing these biomedical waste rules very effectively. But there are some chances that unauthorized agencies are there in the handling of this waste. There is a possibility of mixing sometimes biomedical waste along with the municipal solid waste. But the implementation of these rules is very important, and local authorities would provide all kinds of facility for separate collection up to the disposal and recycling of this waste. Next. There is a CND waste also. Nowadays, CND waste is basically rules are in place to promote the utilization of this waste to recycle it to making the other products out of it. So nowadays there is a lots of development activities going on in the city. So huge amount of CND waste generation is there. So it applies to all the construction sites where there is a waste generation, and sites where there is a building demolition is going on. So all kind of demolished waste can be taken to the central facility, and we can recycle it to produce various product out of it. And likewise, other rules, the facility operator needs to be authorized by the Pollution Control Board and follow the rules effectively. Next. There is a batteries waste management also. Just a minute, just go back. Batteries waste management rules are also there in place to collect all kinds of batteries. So these rules are applied to every manufacturer, importer, reconditioner, assembler, dealer, recycler, auctioneer, consumer. These rules are applicable to all, and basically it includes the recycling or the proper disposal of the batteries which contains very toxic and corrosive material like mercury, lead, and all. So it covers electrical vehicles batteries also. The producer of these batteries are responsible for the collecting and recycling from the market, and refurbishment of the battery is also going on. And there should be a proper mechanical and centralized online portal for the collection and exchange of this battery waste as well as the certificates. Next. So these are the separate different kinds of waste. Now we comes to the third part of my presentation, that is the good practices in our country as far as this municipal solid waste is concerned. So we all know that Indore is the Swachh city, and it is getting Swachh city medal since last 7 years, getting the cleanest city tag under Swachh Bharat mission. So it is interesting to know that in the first Swachh survection, the city was at 25th place. and after that, from the second to this year, it is getting coming as a first. So there are so many strategies they have applied as far as the municipal solid waste management is concerned. But as far as the most successful, we can say that the models are only two. First is the 100% segregation of waste at the generation place itself. So they are segregating now this mix of municipal solid waste into 6 categories by the at the source of generation only. So this 100% source segregation is the main strategy or approach for the Indore to have a cleanest city that. And secondly, the 100% treatment of the biodegradable waste through biomethylation. They have bio-CNG plant for the biodegradable waste where daily 17 to 20 metric tons of this CBG or the compressed biogas is getting generated out of the 100 metric ton waste that is treated. The plant is actually on the PPP model, and the concept is also based on the zero landfill model that no waste goes to the landfill. And Indore Municipal Corporation is getting royalty of say around 2.5 to 3 crore from this bio-CNG plant also. And at a very subsidized rate, this CNG gas is purchased by the local authority only for their local bus services. So there are win-win situation for the contractor also as well as for the local authority also to get the cheapest fuel as well as the option of biodegradable waste management. Then another new activity Indore has started is the treatment of this green waste from all the gardens and other facilities, private as well as the public gardens and all that. So they are converting these green waste into valuable resources. They have currently built a plant in the Bicholi IFC, the area of around 5,000 square feet, and they are converting this wood they are into the sawdust and other products which can be further utilized for the various applications. Next. Surat is also a very good example in terms of municipal solid waste management. The regular sweeping, we all know the condition of Surat at the time of plague, and now it is the second most cleanest city in the India. So all kind of waste management regulations and the integrated waste solid waste management system plan has been successfully implemented in the city, and there is 100% door-to-door collection of the waste is there. And important part is the plastic waste. The most important plant out is the plastic waste management plant, where all the segregated plastic from the city is getting collected by the local authority, and they are separating and treating into the centralized facility, which is again the reusing and recycling this plastic for various another products. So there are designated locations in the city where people can place their plastic waste, and in return they can get some amount out of it, and local authority is collecting responsible for its collection and again recycling into various products. So plastic waste management is a very good example in the Surat. Next. As far as this legacy waste is concerned, you must have heard about the Pirana dump site of the Ahmedabad. Actually, in Ahmedabad, since 1983, the waste was dumped here in the area called Pirana, and since in 2016, the total amount of waste generated at the dump site is more than 80 lakhs metric ton of waste. So in January 2019, a pilot project has been started by Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation, and the project is the biomining. Biomining is to remove this, means to segregate various waste out of this heap and use it for the various another options. So you can say here that before the and after condition of the heaps or the dump at the site, and currently more than 62 lakh metric ton of waste gets cleared, legacy waste, and 35 acres of land has been cleared or reclaimed out of this biomining option. Next. Another good example in Ahmedabad is the use of construction and demolition waste. In 2019, AMC has started this C&D waste facility on PPP basis, There are 21 locations in the city have been defined where common people can dump their CND waste, and there is a agency which is responsible for collecting this waste from 21 locations. They are taking back to their central facility for recycling this CND waste, and they are making various products like paper block of stone, then manhole covers, and various other products are there, which is being sold in the market, as well as the corporation is also taking say 100% products of their daily need from this facility. So it is a sustainable solution for the CND waste treatment. Next. Another good example is the waste to energy plant in the Ahmedabad. Say that this plant is the Gujarat's largest waste to energy plant at the Pipraj in Ahmedabad, which is designed to collect daily 1,000 metric tons of the municipal solid waste, and it is able to generate 15 megawatt of power per hour. It is developed under PPP partnership, and basically Jindal Urban Waste Management Limited is the agency. They have done all the investment. They are running this facility since November. It is recently started, and till date, nearly this 1,10,000 metric tons of waste gets treated here, and nearly 32,000 units of electricity has been generated and utilized. It is being transported in the public electricity company. They are getting benefited out of it. Next. Even in Andhra Pradesh also there is a small town called Kobil, where there is a 100% segregation of the segregation and collection of the waste, and there is a plastic bags and pouches ban in the country, and they have also applied some other options which are very useful in solid waste management plant, right? They have routed the, or they have provided all the IoT facilities in their collection system for the proper collection and the treatment of plant waste. In Pune also, the centralized biogas system are working very good. They have all the biodegradable waste collection system in place properly. These facilities are also very good. They are generating biogas and utilizing in the, either in the they are making CNG out of it or utilizing for the heating application, biogas utilization. Next. So these are the some good examples. I have taken only few out of it and big example, but there are small cities which are taking very good steps as far as the municipal solid waste management is concerned, because every activity is very important, say from the collection to disposal. So so many projects are there right now in our country as far as management is concerned. Now the circularity in any waste management is very important nowadays, as we all know that India is attaining the net zero status. Our Prime Minister has declared that we will attain net zero till 2070. So now all the activities focus must be on the reduction of this greenhouse gases and circular economy. So basically, when municipal solid waste management is concerned, so the proper implementation of the municipal solid waste management plan and providing all the facilities in place, we can reduce the total greenhouse gas emissions, and we can utilize the recycling, waste to energy concept, and other our treatment option to generate credits, carbon credits, and there are other mechanisms also which can be applied directly, and we can act towards the climate change. So in this MS municipal solid waste management plan should also reflect this future impact due to the climate change, and we need to adapt for it also. Next. So next, in circular economy, we are basically collecting, reusing, recycling various products from the waste, and we are completing the circle of circularity. So in linear economy, basically the component, like we are taking natural resources, we are making products, we are utilizing it and disposing in the landfill. That was the earlier situation. Now there is in under circular economy, we are taking making it utilizing, and after disposal again we are reusing the component for the further production and utilization. So circular economy is very important, and it basically relies on the hierarchy which we initially discussed, like we should have recycling at the top, source segregation and recycling, and disposal should be our least priority approach. Next. Now, some of the most important waste minimization strategies are concerned. First of all, EPR, extended producer responsibility, is very important when we are dealing with such kind of electronics and batteries and other products and packaging are concerned. Then promotion of the voluntary action, like business group should be promoted for take back or no packaging policy in their agency. Then frame rules and bylaws in our every cities to utilize or ban certain type of products like plastic and other. Eco-labeling standards should be developed for all kind of product to utilize it effectively and recycle it properly. Awareness and education programs should be there at the residential level, at the institute level, as well as at the school level also, to generate awareness about the waste minimization, solid waste minimization. Campaigns must be there for the reusing and recycling. Next. We can also go for the product stewardship and green procurement implementation program, where the supplier of the product are responsible for taking back their product and recycling of, and there should be some incentive also for this operation. Consumer reward should be there. Local businesses should be encouraged to reward the consumer for returning back this recyclable product to them. Then supermarket and retail stores are also very important place which can be clubbed with the local authority to create the awareness regarding the packaging and recycling. Then promoting the material exchange and reuse program among the community, and applying the polluter pay principle, like pay as you throw initiative in any local body to have a sensitization on the recycling and reuse of various products. Next. Okay, so this is my final words. Said as a common people, we know the technicality of the management, but by the way, by which way we can contribute towards this municipal solid waste is, these are some of the do's and don'ts. We should start cleanliness from our home. We should segregate the waste 100% into recyclable, non-recyclable. We should also provide our time to create awareness among the people. We should dispose the place at the designated, dispose the waste at the designated places, and create cleanliness in our surrounding environment. And there are some of the don'ts also. We should not throw back the waste anywhere. We should utilize the public property very cleanly, and there are many ways we can contribute towards the implementation of the municipal solid waste management plan. So I think I'm completing here my presentation. Actually, I have tried to include examples of cities on different kind of initiatives, like general actions every cities are taking now under Swachh Bharat Mission, collection, segregation, recycling. But if there are some certain initiative are there, informative initiative, then it is very good to have. Can we have a small 2-minute video of this waste to energy plant right now?
Yes, ma'am, please.
So I will just share it.
अहमदाबाद में गुजरात का सबसे बड़ा
It's not visible to the participants, right?
स्वच्छ और हरित भविष्य की पहल
Ma'am, it's not visible to the participants.
14 एकड़ में फैला यह अत्याधुनिक प्लांट 375 करोड़ रुपए की लागत से तैयार किया गया है। यहाँ 40,000 मीट्रिक टन संग्रहण क्षमता से सुसज्ज म्युनिसिपल सॉलिड वेस्ट पिट यानी
Ma'am, it's not visible to the
जहाँ
participants.
शहर के विभिन्न हिस्सों से लाए गए सॉलिड वेस्ट को जमा किया जाता है। इस प्लांट की दैनिक वेस्ट
It's only playing on your screen.
1,000
It's
मीट्रिक टन
not
है।
visible to
इसे
the
भविष्य
participants.
में 1500 मीट्रिक टन तक बढ़ाया जा सकता है, जो अहमदाबाद शहर में उत्पन्न हो।
Yes.
Ma'am, it's not visible to the participants. It's only visible to your screen at the moment.
So actually, I have already shared it. I'm not visible.
No, ma'am. The video is not visible. You are visible.
Okay.
Your screen is not being shared like to the participants, basically. It's just sharing on your screen, I think.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you can send it to Rakesh. We'll play it
I
before.
have already shared it.
Okay, I'll ask Rakesh to play it.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Just before we move on to the Q&A, we'll play the video.
No problem.
And before that, I'd like to officially close the session as it's 12. So I'll just give an update about the future talks and also start a 2-minute poll for the audience members to answer. Uh, Rakesh, could you please put on the poll questions? Uh, you just take 30 seconds of your time for the quick poll. This will help us get to know you better and also tailor the topics that we bring to you. Mm. Rakesh, you can also queue up the video that Pam has sent and share it while people are answering the poll. I think there's some problem playing the video from Rakesh's side too. I'll just check up on it and
No
get it
problem.
played. So I'd like to thank everyone who's been part of this session today. Also, I'll give an update about the upcoming talk on the next Saturday. We have Tisha Mahindru, psychologist and hypnotherapist from Apnatwa Charitable Trust, and she's going to be talking about expressive arts-based therapy, heal, create, and transform with art. It's on 29th March 2025 from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can register for this via the registration link that will be shared in the chat. Yes, here you go. And I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our speaker, Ms. Darshana Patel, for sharing her valuable time and insights with us. Moving on to the Q&A session. Rakesh, meanwhile, you can just check what's up with the video and you can just keep it ready, standby. We'll play it between the question and answers somewhere. I'd like to now request Funny to unmute. Funny, could you please unmute yourself? I've pinned you to the screen. You can ask your question. You're not audible. Kindly check your audio device and we will unmute you again later. Kindly check your audio device, please. Meanwhile, I request Shmuel to unmute. Hello, Shmuel.
Hello, you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Very interesting and very insightful presentation. And I want to ask you a very actual question. How, according to your opinion, smart and effective management solid waste can support improvement social and economic well-being.
Ma'am, I would like to repeat the question for you. How, according to you, solid waste management can improve social and social well-being? Am I right, sir?
Social and economic well-being.
Social and economical well-being.
Definitely, we can, through solid waste management, there can be a social well-being by involving all the informal sector people which are there in the various activities of municipal solid waste, they can take back to the centralized system, and government can pay them the better for the wages for their daily activities, and their economic condition can be improved by taking. Actually, this kind of activities are there in India right now. Many red pickers are getting authorized under local cities, and they are getting very good economical wages for their daily activities, and they are now getting channelized in very effective way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll now unmute Mr. Vasant Kumar. Just a moment, sir. Yes, here you go.
Hello,
Oh, sir.
you can hear me, sir?
Yes.
Darshana ji,
Yes, please.
it was a wonderful presentation. You have covered almost all the gamuts of solid waste management. As a NERM committee member on solid waste management in Mysore, when we took the first place in those days. Now after that, it has totally changed. The format has changed. Now my questions, one is, can we file an FIR for littering? That is number one question. Okay, would you like to answer that, and then I will go for the next one? Why I am
Sir is asked, sir, your audio is getting cut. I'll just ask the question for you. Ma'am, sir is asking whether one can file an FIR on somebody else for littering.
Yes, there is a provision in municipal bylaws. So it is basically depends upon your local bylaws, because every cities must have some clause difference in the their bylaws. But definitely there are, along with the penalties, there are provisions for FIR and other actions against the violators.
I'll just answer you this, ma'am. Can you see this newspaper?
NCC cracks down on public littering. Yes, sir.
It's about filing an FIR. This is today's newspaper.
Yes, sir.
In Mysore, the Port Karmika had warned. Can you hear me, sir?
Sir, your audio is getting cut. Could you please type into the chat box and I'll get it answered?
It's already there. Can you hear me now?
No, sir. I can hear you, but it's very blurred.
Sorry, 1 second. Now? Can you hear me now?
Sort of.
Can you hear me, sir?
Sort of, sir. Sir, I will
Hello?
ask your questions. It's already there in the chat box. If you don't mind, please.
I've already put it in the chat
Yes.
box.
I will write it. I will ask her. Ma'am, sir's question is in classification of waste, discarded cigarette filters that
Can you
are
hear me
made
now?
of cellulose acetate are basically non-biodegradable. Has there been any step to assess the quantum and how to manage this toxic waste? How to basically use cigarette butts to
I think it can be utilized in the RDF material.
RDF?
If
Yes.
we properly segregate it, we can bind it along with the plastics and other material to make it RDF, because it can easily burn out, or we can send it in combustion, this kind of material.
No, there is no question of accountability. Whole world is more. Millions of cigarettes are being burnt every minute. And as further tips, cellular acetate, they are being thrown everywhere. This is a tragedy. And most of it goes into the oceans and water bodies. They toxify the water, and fish are dying, corals are losing their food. These are some of the things which you may have to study, because there is no question of going back on this. Accident manufacturers should take it back.
So, ma'am
See,
answered about the cellulose cigarette butts. It's basically used as RDF. So, RDF is
what
refused.
is RDF?
Sir, it was mentioned refused.
RDF? RDF?
It's basically fuel produced from municipal solid waste or other waste materials that are not recyclable.
One more small question on that. As you know, global warming is taking place.
Sir, your voice is getting very blurred. Could you please type into the chat box and we'll get it answered?
Okay.
Moving on to the next one, ma'am. I'd like to now unmute Fanny.
Hello, ma'am. Could you
Yes.
hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. Just I want to ask you one thing. Since you have referred one particular place called Bobbili in Andhra Pradesh. I will give you a simple example. Nearer to Bobbili, there is one place called Sita Nagaram, which is the forest area. There is the prominent, I think, almost like for the past 20 years or like that. They keep on using one particular shampoo made of soap nut and shikakai.
Okay.
The local tribals, they are using it. Actually, for centuries, they are connected to collection of soap nut and shikakai from the forest areas. So this shows that they are disconnected with natural roots, and they are getting into some kind of consumer mode. This I can tell you for the last 20-25 years, I have seen in cities abutting the rivers, forest areas, and municipal these people. When I explored what is the real thing behind, I have come across one particular thing that is, the very idea of science and technology which we are talking about is basically, it comes from the physis of the Greek, means nature with life. That is reduced to physis natura. Then it is reduced to physics. Means all the nature around you is a resource for consumption. So it seems that our very idea about nature and our connectivity is actually the one which is accelerating the entire thing at individual level. Unless that is reversed, I think whatever you are talking about, waste management, all these other procedures, I think this will continue. So what is your take on that?
Sir, actually, you are right. Basically, our ancient generations were like reuse and recycling are in our tradition only. We were using products many times since our ancient time. But nowadays, as we are following this Western countries trend, now this West generation has become very is a big issue for India now. Like जब से हमने use and throw approach को use किया है, the problem is getting started. So there are local solutions available, and if people are knowing that what they need to do with this kind of waste, then local authorities should promote that kind of options only in their waste management plan. Municipal bylaws are the main regulatory framework in which they can make the what we can say that they can improve the plan according to the local condition and implement accordingly. So if there is a problem of some local condition is there and they know the solution, government should go with them and provide the solutions accordingly.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to ask one question from my side, ma'am. So I reside in this place called Vadodara, which is very close to Ahmedabad, and I've gone about seeing certain landfills in my city, which are towards the outside part of the city, and some of the landfills are not as per the guidelines or norms that it's supposed to be. Like it's encroaching into a river tributary, and there is no proper fencing and like that. So I have tried in the past to I've gone and written letters to the mayor, to the municipal commissioner, and tried to process it forward, try to get their attention towards that particular landfill site, because ultimately that water comes into the city itself. And could you tell a solid way to get their attention, or somehow make more people aware about the plight of that landfill or whatever? Because sometimes it's impossible to reach out to the administrative bodies.
Okay, you are talking about basically it's not a landfill, it is a dump site.
I'm sorry?
It is a dump site, not a
Yeah,
dump,
it is a dump site.
because landfill cannot be near river. It
Mm.
cannot be in the riverbed because there are siting criteria for the landfill.
Yes,
For
absolutely.
going for the landfill construction, you need to follow all the siting criteria. There are 15 or 20 criteria for at least selection of the site itself.
Right itself.
You cannot have this kind of pollution problem. So you need to pressurize the local government for have a scientific or the sanitary landfill in place of open dump site. And the waste that is in the open dump site can be treated through biomining. The quantity of waste can be reduced because after screening and all that, all the components will get separated, and you will find option for every component for the treatment. What to do? So there is a possibility of clearing this dump site, as well as there is a possibility of having sanitary landfill at the site. So the local authority should go for it.
Um, Looking at the questions in the chat, the next question is from Navneet Krishnan. Kindly explain EPR credits and their framework.
Actually, nowadays these EPR credits are being formed by the local government itself. There is no central guideline on that, but the agency or the producer, they are they are discussing with the local authority, or they are discussing with the proper ministry what to do with this, and they are framing the rules that from how much which stakeholder to be included in this, either up to dealers or up to local people, up to where they are getting into this. And I think most of the dealers are now into this EPR. They under the rules, there is a compulsion for them to take back all the products after its completion of the useful life. But its implementation, basically everything is on paper, but its implementation needs to be more strengthened for the EPR to be more successful.
I'd like to now unmute Mr. Vishnu Gopal. Yes, sir. I have prompted you to unmute yourself. Am I audible, sir? Hello, yes.
Hi, I'm Vishnu Gopal, Kerala.
So your audio is a little blurred. Could you just check your microphone device?
1 minute.
Yes. Meanwhile, I'll just ask the other question.
1 minute. 1 minute. Hello.
Yes, sir. You can ask the question.
I am Vishnu Gopal from Kerala.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the session is very well. I have enjoyed the session and got some points, and it was very nice presentation by Ms. Darshana Patel. Thank you for your valuable session. And I have some doubts. One is in important techniques. You are telling about the incineration. One important technique is incineration. As per the rules, now incineration is possible because incineration is to air pollution, and it will get into health issue.
So could you please repeat the question once?
Actually, in important techniques, Patelji is telling incineration is the one for solid waste management. The incineration is caused to air pollution. I thought that is caused to air pollution, and this will come to health issues. Is it possible, or is it advisable to in solid waste management project for reducing the waste?
I'll I'm not getting the question, but
Sir, could
I
you
can
please
say
type the question? It's your voice is getting blocked again and again, actually.
but I think I understood what you want to say. Actually, all the waste to energy options are basically ultimately creating air pollution, but we must provide all types of air pollution control system in place for the various gases. We should provide all the back filters and electroprecipitator and all the stages of the air pollution control system in place for the effective running of any kind of waste to energy plants. It is not only incineration, but any WTE plant must have a proper air pollution control system in place and working condition to reduce the
Okay, actually,
effect of air pollutants and on human health.
actually, I am preparing a plan for a city for solid waste management. So I am asking, could I add this technique in that plan?
It depends purely on the waste composition. What kind of waste you are receiving? If only incineration is the option left with you, you can go for it. But incineration is option sometimes. As far as waste to energy is concerned, in our country right now, only incineration is the option. But in that also, people are utilizing various technologies for incineration. It basically changes according to the temperature, inside temperature of the incinerator. And air pollution is also depends on that temperature. If you don't maintain the proper temperature, there is a chances of air pollution more. So you need to have a controlled system for the incineration, and definitely you can go for the waste to energy option with incineration.
Okay, okay. Then next is in landfill, after the base layer, there is a drainage level. Our defect is 80%.
Sir, your voice is not very clearly audible. It was audible for a bit in between.
Hello? Are you audible?
I can hear you, but it's very muffled. It's very blurred.
I am typing in
Yes.
landfill.
Yes, I'll come to the questions in the chat box in order. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, another question from Maria Paul. Is deep burial a way to end biomedical wastes?
No, for the biomedical waste also there are different technologies available, and incineration is very good technology for this biomedical waste, where
Okay.
people are doing incineration after recovering all the useful parts from it. So it is only a effective way to remove because it's some amount of infectious waste also in there. So incineration is the best option.
Okay. I'm just going to unmute Maria Paul for a minute. Ma'am, I've prompted you to unmute. Could you please unmute yourself?
Hi, ma'am. This is Maria from Kerala. As part of my project, I was researching on the waste management within Kerala, and the major concern that I came across for proposing a waste to energy plant was from many research papers. I came to know that the water quantity in the waste, in the municipal solid waste in the state of Kerala is very high. So the papers prove stating that to propose a waste to energy plant in Kerala will be a failure. What is your take on this point, ma'am?
Cannot be a failure. You must have find out the reason that why it is failure. Only because of the moisture content, you cannot rule out the option. You can find out the option to remove the moisture from it and then go take it into the incineration. So first of all, you need to have a problem with that. What is the main problem with its non-operability in the incinerator? So you need to have a proper composition of the waste and what is to be removed and what is to be taken into the plant that need to be recycled.
Ma'am, that to the best of my knowledge, though there are many steps that are being written in sheets in the form of rules, in the form of laws, but the segregation, the proper segregation of the waste, the collection of the waste and the segregation of the waste is not happening to the best of my knowledge, at least in the case of Kerala. So what can be an effective way by which we can ensure that the waste collected is properly segregated which can be taken to the waste treatment plant?
This is not only the problem of Kerala. I think every city is facing the same issue because at source segregation is not at all practiced in our cities. Say only few cities are there, less than 10 cities in the country which are having 100% segregation of the waste. So first of all, public awareness or sensitization is needed to have a proper bins, separate bins for the segregation of waste at place, and foolproof system with the local authority should be there for the collection of this recyclable as well as the biodegradable waste. Then and then only this solid waste management can be improved, because we don't even if I'm talking about the Ahmedabad where I'm living, we are also having a mixed waste system. So mixed waste cannot be processed by any other option than the waste to energy, because you cannot once it is getting mixed, you cannot remove plastics and paper effectively from the waste, or you can only remove the metal part of waste from the mixed waste. Then the entire waste either will go to the, after some kind of sorting, it goes to the RDF and waste to energy. There is no other option for it. Yes, but from the commercial, you can do that. You can separate the waste from the restaurants and other food outlets. You can keep that waste separate and have some biomethanation. You can separately have a green waste from the gardens, either it's a public or private, and that kind of waste can be treated separately. So up to some amount, you can segregate the waste at the central level, but once from this at the point of generation, if you will not get the segregated waste, then it is very difficult to pay for. It is a problem, very big problem for India right now. So people are only opting for the incineration because everything can be dumped into it. But it is not like that. You must have a defined proportion of the waste to have a proper calorific value and burning, effective burning, and then proper air pollution control system also to reduce the impacts of air pollution.
Thank you, ma'am. One more last question. You talked about one plan, waste to energy plan, which is launched in 2024, November last year. So, can you tell about the various involvement of various stakeholders in the planning of such plans? The role of architects, the role of engineers, the role of other eminent persons in the designing of such plans.
Basically, as far as the stakeholders are concerned, ULB has decided to have a electricity generation out of this waste, because as I said, we have also mixed waste, so we cannot have another option. So the option has been finalized. Now the agencies which are basically developing this kind of waste to energy plants are also very limited in our country. So we have invited them. We have done one stakeholder consultation also. As environmental clearance is involved, there is a public hearing also. So all kind of checks and balances have been performed before finalizing the location as well as the treatment technology of the waste to energy.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Moving on to the next one, ma'am. The question is from Fiona D'Souza. Ma'am, where does Mumbai, being a mega city, stand with regards to SWM practices?
The size of city doesn't matter. According to the type and composition of solid waste, the local authority needs to devise this plan. Means if first of all, in everywhere you will have a mixed waste, right? So you need to decide the composition of mixed waste, and then according to the percentage and proportion of the waste, you have to define the various strategies for the various options of the processing. So it is a very big exercise where you can definitely plan out the various options for various category of the waste.
Thank you. I'd like to now unmute Mr. K.R. Amarnath. Could you please unmute yourself?
Is it audible though? Yeah.
Hello, yes.
Hello.
Yes. Sir.
Yeah. My question is nowadays, so we are from plastic manufacturing industries. So I am working in plastic resin manufacturing industries. Now the biggest challenge is the e-waste. So e-waste, one of the e-waste is the plastic, like laptops and everything. So if you in the NCR region, if you see, the most of the collection is going on all the e-wastes, that is okay. But the biggest problem is segregation. So because the plastic has the different types of plastic in terms of category and in terms of their manufacturing process. So how is going to address? Do we have any bodies available, so that at least the segregation process will be taken care, and then the second next step will be move forward for recycling. Now I think that is the biggest challenge, is the segregation of the plastic into different categories. So that is the how do you see, do you see, do you also come across this type of challenges or not? I just want to understand.
Yes. Yes, we are also coming through this type of challenges. There are two issues here, I think, combining electronic waste and plastic waste. Electronic waste, basically, what I have seen, that government is giving contract to some agencies which are basically authorized by the Pollution Control Board to collect the e-waste and their recycling. So what you need to do, what government need to do, they should provide the list of agencies authorized to collect this waste. So for example, in Ahmedabad, we have like system that there are 2-3 agencies which are responsible for collecting. So you can call them. There are separate websites. There are proper consumer. They have given separate numbers for the calling. So consumer can call them. The agency can come to your home and home or office or any other establishment. They can collect the waste from their e-waste from the facility. They provide you the money in exchange of the waste, and they can recycle it according to the laws. And it is the responsibility of the Pollution Control Board to know that which actions they are taking by collecting. After collecting, what kind of treatment they are doing for recycling they are doing, that is up to the Pollution Control Board. So local bodies should appoint such agencies, authorized agency, for the collection of the e-waste. And likewise, in the plastic waste also, we have 2-3 agencies. They are collecting plastic. Local authority has given permission that to collect different grades of plastic from the commercial establishment as well as from the local kasti walas and all. So basically, the recyclable which is going to the kabadi wala, these agencies are taking plastic, say plastic, as you are talking about plastic, they are taking plastic from them, and they have separate plant here. For example, in Ahmedabad, we have a plastic segregation plant. Netra is the agency which is doing this work. They are collecting different kinds of plastic. They are segregating it in their facility and utilizing, channelizing it for the again recycling of waste products. So this kind of agencies are available. We need to engage them along with the local authority.
Moving on to the next question now. It's from Mr. Satish. What is your opinion on plasma incineration for management of municipal waste? Yes, it might be costly affair, but secondary products are in very, very less quantity.
Yes, you asked the question and you have already answered.
Given the answer.
Actually, cost is a very important factor when it comes to the local authority or ULB, because this waste management is a business which includes lots of investment. So in India, we go under Swachh Bharat Mission. There is a grant available under say JNNURM. Some grant is available for the processing, and there are other funding mechanism also at the central level. But definitely installation will be there under funding, but the operation of plasma is a very costly affair, and I think we cannot go, any local authority cannot afford it. But if something is there like user charges and some other mechanisms are there for the recovery of the money, we can definitely go for the plasma incineration also.
Thank you for the reply. I'd like to now unmute Mr. Arjun Prasad. Hello, sir.
Yeah, is it audible? I am
Yes.
Arjun Prasad from Delhi speaking.
Yes.
I heard about Darshana Patel. I am working for the Ministry of Jal Shakti Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin. Yeah. So I want to know to the resource person, Darshana, how food waste is being processed into biomanure, other manure, and cooking gas. What are the experience you have in Gujarat or somewhere in the India? So food is being wasted and is being landfilled. Please throw a light on that.
Yes, sir. In our city, for example, as far MSW rules are concerned, there is a defined bulk waste generators, right? So all the restaurants and food outlets which are generating more than say 50 kg or 100 kg, there is a separate collection mechanism in Ahmedabad for this kind of food waste from all the outlets and facilities, and it is getting separately treated at a biomethanation plant where biogas is generated, and from biogas there is a CNG generation. So this CNG can be utilized either CNG can be filled at a high pressure in cascade and utilized for the heating application, or it can be directly utilized as a fuel in the vehicles and other bus and all facilities. So depending upon the quantum of the food waste you have, you can definitely have a centralized or decentralized plant for the biomethanation. Or at the institute level, you can only generate biogas out of it and utilize in the kitchens and canteens and all that. So
Yeah.
according to the local situation, we need to decide.
Madam, we know the processes. Are any agencies are working on that? What is
There
their
are so many
experiences?
agencies working on this.
Okay. I'd like to know through mail from Trishant later on.
Actually,
Thank
you
you.
can get many information from the websites of Swachh Bharat Mission as well as from the say website of MOUD, where you can get the solid waste management information.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Ma'am, the next question is from Natasha. Nowadays, many stationery items like pens have become use and throw. This product designing system is perilous to the waste management system. What efforts can be made by the public as well as the urban local bodies to design products that minimize waste?
Urban local body cannot play any role in designing the product, basically. And when the question of managing or generating comes, public comes into the picture. We need to decide that what kind of product we need to use to reduce the waste generation. You can definitely use those refills again and again if you don't want to go into the use and throw. So basically, it's an ethical issue. We need to decide that what kind of path I need to go. That if I don't want to use this kind of product, definitely you should stop it. And not only you, everyone should sensitize to stop this kind of practices. Then definitely the waste management problem will be somewhat relaxed, because there are so many day-to-day activities are like we are following the Western culture and generating more and more waste.
Ma'am, to this I wanted to ask, is it audible?
Yes.
Yes. So I basically wanted to ask that I understand the urban local body does not have a role in designing, but at least they can set up some rules so that some rules and regulations can be set up or bylaws can be set up so that, because they are designing for the profit and all those things. So if we put some rules and regulations on it, we can at least try to decrease the use and throw practice.
All the rules and bylaws are already framed, but as I said, there is a need to strict implementation of these bylaws in our countries, because we are the only people who are responsible for generating and paying some say penalties and all that. So solid waste management is a subject like it cannot be managed by government only. There is 100% cooperation from public is required when you need to have a proper waste management system.
Is there any rule regarding these single-use plastics are there? Single-use plastics are there, but regarding products?
Yes, this pen and other comes under the plastic only. So plastic can be recovered from it, and other metal part can be removed from it. So it comes under the plastic waste rules only. But there is no separate collection, cannot be separate collection for it. You should be segregated from you can segregate it at your home level in the recyclable only. where it is again gets segregated at the material recovery facility or any other plastic waste processing facility, this portion can be recovered, but there cannot be a separate collection for it. Yes, definitely awareness generation can be done by the local authority, and they are doing like school awareness programs and community awareness program. This can be included in that.
Thank you.
Thank you. A question by Vasant Kumar. When carbon credits were introduced, many smart people misused it. What is happening now?
Yes, carbon credit is a subject which I am not going into much detail of it, but definitely nowadays again the carbon credit is getting. We can definitely go when we have centralized facility like waste to energy and biomethanation plant and all that. We can definitely apply for the carbon credits through a proper channel and through the authorized channel only. You cannot sell and buy. You cannot do all this activity with everyone. So there is a proper route of acting, and you should go for it. There are agencies which are only authorized to do this carbon credit business. So it can be done by done.
Sir has one more question. Can't we use abandoned mines that are thousands of feet deep for landfilling instead of making people suffer from waste?
It depends upon the local condition, and there should not be any sensitized or any water body nearby. You can, if it is fall into the siting criteria of the landfill, then it can definitely utilize. You can make a sanitary or the engineered landfill over there by providing all kind of proper system for the leachate, proper collection for the gas, groundwater pollution prevention measures and all that. It can be built along with all these options.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question is from Dinesh Kumar. How to deal with polystyrene or thermocol waste?
There is no separate rules right now for the polystyrene, but it comes under the single-use, not single-use plastic, but it is single-use product. And nowadays there is a ban in many cities for utilizing this styrofoam and all. So it can be managed only by the proper regulatory actions against people who are producing them and utilizing them. But like single-use plastic, we need to ban this product also, because there is no separate system for its collection or disposal.
A question from Arjun Prasad Mahankali. How food waste is being processed into biomanure and cooking gas?
Food waste is through biomethanation or anaerobic digestion. This food waste is converted biologically with the help of microbes into biogas. This biogas can be collected. As I said, it is comprising of the carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, water vapor and all that. So if you want to utilize methane portion of it, you need to first purify this biogas, remove all other impurities, and then make the methane content 92%. Then you can utilize that definitely as a CNG and PNG as a fuel, or you can fill in cascades at a high pressure, which cascades are being utilized for the heating in industries, and the remaining portion of the solid waste which is remains there, it can be definitely utilized as a biomaterial in the field.
Another question by Maria. I'll just pin her. Yes, could you please unmute yourself?
In regards to the biomining that we discuss now, can I know what is happening to the land that once holds such amount of waste? Even though we say that biomining can be performed, but what will be the environmental condition of a land and also the neighborhood? How is it going to affect the neighborhood also after biomining?
For that, you need to have a proper scientific study of that land, means you need to carry out the soil strata analysis, that up to how much level this, if there is any kind of soil pollution or what is the groundwater table, is there any possibility of groundwater pollution, or what is the actual condition right now. If there is no proper degradation has happened to soil or the water beneath the site, you can definitely utilize it for the any purposes. And if you know that soil is contaminated, you can definitely replace that soil with the compost and make it in a proper, the top cover can be changed, and we can develop any forest or gardens or any kind of public facility over it. Cannot have a residential colony, but we can utilize it for another purposes.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's all the questions I have in the chat box, ma'am. With that, I think I can call for a closure of the talk. And I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the whole of Vishwa team for being a part of this webinar. Ma'am, you'll shortly see a breakout room link on your screen. I will just click on, I'll join you in that link in about a minute. For all the participants who have been here with us till now, thank you so much for being a part of this webinar and making it a success. We will see you next week at 11 a.m. on the same day, same time, and thank you everyone. See you next week.